Hello friends, this is Ponniyin Selvan, episode 18. We last saw Vandiyathevan escape from Chinna Palvettariya's men and run into the woods only to halt right under the castle wall on the far end of the palace and wait for the moon to show a way out. He hid himself quite well in the bushes near the walls. Once his excitement settled down and his breath calmed down, he started to feel the tiredness from all the running and dozed off. A few hours passed and suddenly he jerked awake. At first, he didn't realize what woke him up, but he slowly started hearing an owl hooting repeatedly. He looked up and saw a dark figure looking down at him from the top of the wall. For a minute, he felt like his heart stopped beating completely. He was spooked, but when his eyes slowly adjusted to the dark, he realized that it was only a woman. Who could it be? And why is she calling me? He wondered. Hey you, are you sleeping? I've been trying to wake you up for several minutes, hissed the woman, annoyed by Vandiyathevan. Now, climb up quickly, said the woman in a hushed-up tone, dropping down a ladder. Vandiyathevan didn't know what was waiting on the top of the ladder, but he was glad he now got a way out from where he was hiding. He slowly climbed up the ladder and the woman again hissed, "Hurry up! The young Princess Nandini is waiting for you." Vandiyathevan was puzzled as to why Nandini would go through all this trouble for a man she met briefly only yesterday. Could it be for someone else? He wondered, but wordlessly reached the top and jumped down on the other side loudly. "Shh!" said the woman, and started walking in front of Vandiyathevan, holding a fiery torch. But in the dim light, he couldn't see much of the path, and he kept bumping into the tree branches. "Did you forget the path?" asked the woman, turning back towards Vandiyathevan and jerked to a stop. She looked at his face intensely and asked, "Is it really you? Last time you looked like a sorcerer, but this time you look very different." Vandiyathevan started piecing the puzzle together. He realized that Nandini sent her maid to smuggle a sorcerer into meat. He cleverly replied, "Shh! I'm a man trying to enter the palace inconspicuously at night. Won't I change my get-up each time? Just keep walking," instructed Vandiyathevan with an air of confidence. Convinced, the woman started walking fast and reached a good-sized, brightly lit palace chambers. But instead of taking him in through the main entrance, she started walking along the side corridor leading up to a door at the back. While walking, Vandiyathevan noticed an equal-sized chamber to the left, but to the contrary, it was completely unlit and dark. The two palace chambers were connected by a corridor, and there was a foyer in the middle of it. Its name was Lata Mandap, and the woman made Vandiyathevan wait in front of it and went inside to inform his arrival. "Send him in," said a seductive, sweet voice from inside. Vandiyathevan stiffened, realizing it was indeed Palavur's young princess, Nandini's voice. Hearing Nandini's voice and imaging her face gave butterflies in his tummy. Vandiyathevan stepped into the foyer. In the golden light coming from the oil lamps, Nandini was casually leaning on a silk bed like a golden wax statue. The fragrance from the perfumed oil coming from the lamps intoxicated Vandiyadevan. Nandini did not show any disappointment or shock seeing Vandiyadevan step in. She acted pleasantly surprised, and Vandiyadevan jumped at his chance to apologize. Very sorry. She brought me here thinking that I'm the sorcerer. Nandini cut him off saying, You must be a sorcerer. You hypnotized her into thinking you are the one. Oh, no. I did not do any sorcery. I just smiled, said Vandiyadevan jokingly. But you could have used the ring I gave you to come see me in broad daylight, said Nandini. I would have used the ring you gave me if not for your brother-in-law. He sent people in pursuit of me. I was hiding from them, and that is when your maid invited me, saying you were waiting for me. I assumed you took pity on me and sent her to rescue me. Only now do I realize you were just waiting for some sorcerer, said Vandiyadevan. Why do you think I called for a sorcerer? It was all for you. After I met you yesterday, I kept thinking about you. I called the sorcerer to make sure you don't face any dangers, said Nandini in the voice of an angel. Vandiyadevan didn't find her words believable at all, but he decided to carry on with it. Oh, me too. Even I couldn't stop thinking about you. That's why I tried my best to meet you, said Vandiyadevan. Don't lie to me. You only wanted to meet me to pass on Nandi's message. Isn't that right? Asked Nandini coyly. Oh, not really. I lose my train of thought when I'm with you. So, let me tell you everything before I forget. Firstly, Alvarkadiyan Nambi says you are his sister. Is it true? Asked Vandiyadevan. Yes. Why do you doubt that? Said Nandini. Just that you look like a parrot and he looks like a crow. I see no resemblance. That's why, replied Vandiyadevan. Nandini smiled a little and said, We are not siblings by birth. We are siblings by chance. Okay, then let me tell you what he said. He wanted to ask if you want to come out of Parvatarya's hold and go back to being a Vishnu devotee, just like Andal, asked Vandiyadevan. But Nandini sighed and said, Does he still harbor such wishes? Please tell him that it will never happen in this life. Not anymore. Vandiyadevan quickly replied, Very true. You are in no way like Andal. Andal had to undergo penance to get Lord Krishna to marry her. All you have to do is stand in front of him and express your wishes. He will be bowled over, said Vandiyadevan, and Nandini burst out laughing. You are a sorcerer. You made me laugh. It's been a long time since I laughed like this, said Nandini. While they were talking this way, they were interrupted by the sound of horns and drums, informing an important person's arrival into the palace. They both could easily guess that it was Periyaparvitarya. My husband has entered the palace. He will visit the king and his brother and head here directly. We don't have a lot of time. Now tell me, why were Chinnaparvitarya's men chasing after you? Asked Nandini. I wished to see Sundara Chola, so I showed him the ring you gave me and went to meet the king. What? Interrupted Nandini. Did you tell him that I gave you the ring? She asked in panic. No. I said Periyaparvitarya gave me the ring when I saw him in Kadambur Palace, said Vandiyadevan. He noticed Nandini breathed a sigh of relief. She composed herself, looked at Vandiyadevan invitingly, and once again talked seductively. "Will you do me a favor?" asked Nandini. Vandiyadevan didn't want to fall into her traps, so he cautiously said, "You are the young princess of Paluvur, wife of the legend Paluvettariyar. If you command, the entire palace will come to stand still. What can I possibly do for a person like you?" asked Vandiyadevan. "I need a loyal man who I could trust to carry out a few secret biddings for me. Will you be that man?" replied Nandini. "Oh no, I cannot. I was already sent on a mission to be that person to someone else," said Vandiyadevan. "Who is it?" Nandini demanded to know. "It's Princess Kundavai," said Vandiyadevan. The sound of her name made Nandini furious. Her seductive, sweet face was replaced by an enraged, angry tone. "Is it true?" asked Nandini threateningly. Her bewitching tone already vanished. "I swear," said Vandiyadevan and pulled out the letter that Aditya Karikala wrote for Kundavai. Nandini snatched it from Vandiyadevan and gave it a quick read. Her rage soared. "Do you want to leave this place alive or not?" asked Nandini menacingly. "Of course, that's why I came to seek your help," said Vandiyadevan. "Then listen to me carefully. When Kundavai reads this letter and writes a reply, I want you to bring it to me first, before taking it back to Aditya Karikala," said Nandini. "That is a tall order you're placing upon me." What will I get in return if I do that for you?" asked Vandiyadevan. Nandini walked very close to Vandiyadevan, her body seductive and voice alluring. She whispered in Vandiyadevan's ears, "Are you asking what you will get in return? You will get what Paluvettariyar has been waiting patiently for all these years," she said. Vandiyadevan froze in his place and his mind went blank. Nandini kept moving closer and closer to Vandiyadevan, but they both heard an owl hooting and Nandini looked towards the window. Her body stiffened. She withdrew from Vandiyadevan, gave back Kundavai's letter and ordered, "Now listen to me carefully. Do you see that unlit building? You hide yourself next to its entrance and wait till I ask you to come out." Vandiyadevan wordlessly did as she said, and Nandini turned towards the window from where the hooting sound came. With this ends today's episode. Did it leave you all in a daze? Eager to know what awaits Vandiyadevan next? Keep watching Kadhatellaporom channel. Bye-bye.